Well, Joseph Duggar, accused of crimes against a child, appeared virtually in court this morning. He was arrested at his Tawnytown home, but the incident he's accused of reportedly happened while he was on a family vacation in Panama City Beach, Florida in 2020. 5 News reporter Claire Everbach has the details from the courtroom.
Following a hearing at the Washington County Courthouse Friday morning, Joseph Duggar will soon be sent to Florida to face a judge there for the alleged crimes against a child after he was arrested on March 18th. The sheriff's office in Bay County said Duggar is facing charges of molestation of a victim less than 12, as well as lewd and lascivious behavior conducted by a person older than 18. Investigators say they were contacted March 18th by a Tawnytown detective after a now 14-year-old came forward with allegations from a 2020 vacation. The alleged victim would have been 9 at the time. The victim told investigators Duggar repeatedly asked her to sit on his lap and inappropriately touched her. Authorities say the incident stopped after Joseph apologized. The victim's father confronted him March 17th, and investigators say Duggar admitted to the incidents to both the father and detectives. If Joseph is found guilty, he could spend decades behind bars. Claire Everbach, 5 News.
Thank you, Claire. Meanwhile, Joseph's brother, Josh Duggar, is serving a 12-year sentence on federal child pornography charges, and he's also now hired a new attorney. He's filed multiple appeals to reverse his conviction, including one in 2025, claiming evidence was excluded and testimonies were false. Duggar was arrested in 2021 after a Little Rock detective found child porn files on a computer traced to Joshua. Investigators say images of abuse of children, including toddlers, were downloaded on a computer at a car dealership Joshua owned at the time. This March, Duggar filed with the new attorney, Bo Brinley, for his appeal, and right now there's no date scheduled for his next hearing on that matter. Well, Iran's military has launched another strike on an oil refinery in the Middle East as it retaliates for strikes on its own oil facilities as more U.S. Marines head to the region. Natalie Brand reports from the White House.
I want to begin by just saying we're doing extremely well in Iran.
President Trump welcomed members of the U.S. Navy football team to the White House, many of whom will be setting off for active duty in the Navy and Marine Corps within months.
Over the past few weeks, the world has seen the true strength and might of our sailors and aviators as they fought in one of the most complex and successful military operations of all time against the Iranian regime.
Military officials tell CBS News an F-35 fighter jet was on a combat mission over Iran when it was forced to make an emergency landing at a U.S. air base in the Middle East. Officials say the pilot is in stable condition. Iran says it targeted the U.S. aircraft as the regime continues to launch attacks across the region.
We are winning, and Iran is being decimated.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says the U.S. and Israel are taking out much of Iran's ability to attack others, but that airstrikes can only go so far.
You can do a lot of things from the air, and we're doing, but there has to be a ground component as well.
CBS News has learned there is a second Marine Expeditionary Unit consisting of about 2,200 Marines and 3 warships now headed to the Middle East after departing California this week. That is in addition to the movement of the USS Tripoli to the Middle East, carrying more than 2,000 Marines. President Trump was asked Thursday about the possibility of additional troops deploying to the region.
No, I'm not putting troops anywhere. If I were, I certainly wouldn't tell you.
It will take several weeks for the new Marine deployment to be in place. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Here's a look at what Arkansans were paying at the gas pump today. Prices have gone up another quarter in the last week to $3.35 a gallon. It's now almost $1 more than what Arkansans were paying last month. The national average is up to $3.88. That one has gone up 38 cents in the last week. It's been more than a month and TSA workers still are not getting paid as the partial government shutdown continues. Staffing shortages have forced the closure of several checkpoints, causing massive delays at airports from Atlanta to Philadelphia. The disruption is hitting travelers during spring break, leaving thousands waiting for hours while Congress remains deadlocked over funding and immigration reform.
The Democrats care more about their radical open border activists than they do about Americans who are missing spring break because there are 4-hour delays.
Members of Congress have left Washington for the weekend until they return and reach an agreement. Both travelers and TSA workers remain stuck with no end to these delays. One man is dead, another is injured in a shooting in Carroll County. The sheriff's office says this happened in the Green Forest area early Thursday morning. Deputies were called to a disturbance where shots were fired. Investigators say they got there and found one man dead and another with gunshot wounds that appeared to be non-life threatening. Investigators haven't said if anyone's been arrested, but did say they know the people involved. We'll keep you updated as we learn more. The Johnson Regional Medical Center is joining a statewide effort to improve newborn care. The Arkansas Children's Hospital Nursery Alliance links hospitals with advanced resources, and the Clarksville Center will get access to advanced training, streamlined coordination for care for newborns who need specialized help, and more. The Nursery Alliance was created in 2016. It includes 8 Arkansas hospitals. Well, NextStar Media Group has completed its $6.2 billion acquisition of broadcaster Tegna, including this television station. The Federal Communications Commission and Department of Justice signed off on that acquisition today. In a news release, FCC Chair Brendan Carr says the deal empowers stations to better serve their communities in the future. He also said, quote, "For too long, the FCC stood by while newspapers closed by the dozen in communities all across the country. Those trusted sources of local news and information shuttered while the FCC dithered. If you care about local news, you should care about the future of local broadcast TV stations." The deal was first announced in August of 2025. According to the FCC order, NextStar commits to divest 6 TV stations, including Rogers-based KNWA. Well, action star and martial artist Chuck Norris has died. He was 86. His family said on Instagram that his death was sudden, but he was surrounded by his family and was at peace. He had been hospitalized recently, and the family said they did want to keep the circumstances of his death private, did not share any updates about how he died. They say to the world he was a martial artist, actor, and a symbol of strength, but to us he was a devoted husband, a loving father and grandfather, an incredible brother, and the heart of our family. They also said he lived his life with faith, purpose, and an unwavering commitment to the people he loved.